Good morning. Happy Friday. Coffee and a card day. Nice to see you all today. Wait for a few people to join in. I'm debuting for the first time today, my Daisy mug from Life is Good. Love that company. And they have a lot of things with daisies on it. So I'm going daisy crazy right now. So we'll wait for a few people to come on, but I hope everyone's having a great day. And I hope our streaming is working well. I have a gift for last week's raffle right here. So as soon as more people are on, I'll announce who that winner is. I hope you had a great couple of weeks. We missed you last week. Last week was Cards for Troops week. So I usually do it on the third Friday of the month, but that didn't work out this week, this January, last month. Today's February 2nd. Happy Groundhog Day. So we had to move it to last week. So thank you for your flexibility and meeting with us today. I hope you have your morning beverage. Okay, life is good. I'm glad you're here to join us today. I see some people joining on. Please say hello. And I want to see some comments here. There we go. Okay. Oh, Whidbey Island in Washington's on. Oh, it's such a beautiful area. We were up there once a long, long time ago. Oh my gosh, might have been, more than 20 years ago. Yeah, we drove across there and then did a whole tour of Washington, actually. Did a little counterclockwise tour and Rainier, did some hiking, and then went down the coast, stayed with a friend in Ocean Beach, I think it was called. So really pretty. Yep. Nice out there. I love it. A lot of trees. Air feels so fresh and clean. So good morning, Debbie. Nice to see you. Oh, Debbie, you're such a diehard. Love seeing you on in the morning. Okay. Our team is the Inspired Daisy. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Another Daisy team. Well, I am announcing publicly for the first time that our team officially has a name that we registered with Stampin' Up, and it's just the Daisy Bunch. Okay, so I happen to have a daisy shirt on also from Life is Good, and has all the daisies all around in the circle joining together. So I thought that was kind of a good image for our team. Okay, so I had to buy the shirt when I saw that. So we're the Daisy Bunch. Yeah, it kind of sounds like the Brady Bunch, right? Well, I made up some fun lyrics to the theme of the Brady Bunch that kind of describes how our team came to be. So I'm not doing that here right now, but maybe someday I'll share that just for fun. So good morning, everybody. Please pop on and say hello and where you're watching from. Oh, Alexandria, Virginia. Oh, okay. Right, not too far from me here in North Carolina. Very good. Alrighty, so nice to see everybody. Alrighty, so yeah, if you see some people that you recognize, say hello to each other. All right, because some of you are regulars and you've seen these names, kind of getting to know each other a little bit virtually anyway. And nice to kind of reconnect and see some familiar names, at least, if not faces. But okay, thank you, Joanne. Yeah, my Daisy Bunch shirt. Okay, and blue is my color. I love blue. It's my favorite. Okay, yep. So the inside of my mug, let me see if I can bring it down here, says, do what you love and love what you do. And that's exactly what I do. Okay, I'm doing my stamping and I love what I do. And I love people like you who join me, and we can work our craft together and have lots of fun and inspire each other. Very nice to see so many people on. Wow, we have a lot this morning. Great. Canada, Missouri, North Carolina, Minnesota, Washington, Virginia. Woo, this is amazing. We can reach all over the country and other countries too. Very nice. Okay, so my raffle winner from last week, I sometimes get caught up in my demonstration that I forget to mention the raffle winner. But my raffle winner from last week is, I'm going to see if I say the name right, Michelle Bernot. Okay, it sounds very French to me, right? Michelle Bernot. Okay, if I'm saying it wrong, please correct me. I don't know if I see Michelle on this morning or not, but please know that she is getting this beautiful set of the Tinsel Gems 3-pack. There are some tinsel gems that come in a 4-pack, 4 different colors. This one has 3 different colors. So those will be going off to Michelle for chiming in on the last coffee and a card. So I hope one of you definitely will be a winner for next week. So make sure you say a little hello, and I'd like to see where you're from. Okay, like the way you project your channel, very easy to follow. Oh, thank you, Betty. Oh, so nice. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that. Let me see if I could straighten this out a little bit here. All right, so I'm streaming to Facebook and YouTube today, so maybe that's why we have more people on. And please, share this with your friends. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate you doing that too. My raffle is just for the people who are on live right now. So, but please do say hello if you're watching the replay and tell me where you're watching from. It's always fun to see. Okay, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. All right, great. Very good. All right, so let's, we're going to get started because I have to end before 11 today. I have family coming, and I'm going out for a walk with some friends beforehand. So it's a busy day, but it's okay. All good. It's all good. So today we're going to do a technique that is not new. Many of you have seen it before, but maybe some people haven't. And it's always good to be reminded of some things that we've done in the past, because we do so many different things. There's so many ideas out there that you can see from, Pinterest and YouTube and just a lot of places that a lot of people have a lot of great ideas. So we're going to revisit this one and see the technique with some new products. All right, so that's always kind of fun. All righty, so cheers. Take a sip of your beverage. If you're joining me, if you're stamping along, I gave you some measurements and some things that you might be able to bring. I know it's hard to imagine, to try to figure out what to bring, because you don't know what the project's going to be. So that kind of keeps it a mystery, though. I don't like to reveal early. I like it to be fresh and new when you come in the morning. So fresh as a daisy, right? Okay, take a sip and let's get started. Okay, let me change my view here. Okay, trying to see the layout. All right, I'm going to switch cameras here so we see more of the down one. Oh, isn't this fun? I'm finally mastering this technology here. It is so good. So good. All right, we are going to do what is often called triple time stamping. So what you need is your card base, right? I'm using Pebble Path here, so we're 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we need 2 more pieces of colored cardstock that are 3 3/4 by 4 1/2, and then 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. Okay, so notice they're kind of nested in a way. Okay, so there's 1/2 inch in between each one of those. And then we need some white layers. The white layers are going to be 4 by 5 1/4. So that's going to fit there as the layer. Then we're going to have a colored layer. So there's a 1/4 inch difference all around there. And then our next white layer is 4 1/4 by 3. And then our next color is going to be here. And then the smallest piece is 3 1/4 by 2. So we're going to end up with this kind of a look. But don't worry, there's not a lot of stamping involved, because we're going to stamp all these layers at once. Now, like I said, a lot of you have seen this before, but like I said, it's always good to revisit this. All right, you also will need a piece for your inside because you have a colored base. Let me just grab one of those. Okay, luckily I keep my little envelope here stuck full of that size layer, because you're always needing them either on the front or on the inside of your card. So that's going to go on the inside. Let me just take care of that now. First, I'm going to stamp a little something on the inside. I'm going to use the detailed dogwood. This is a celebration set that you can get for free with a $100 order. And this is the first time I'm using it. Okay, I love doing first time things with you guys. I'm kind of brave, I know. But yeah, oh, see, Karen, you haven't seen this technique before. So great. See, there are people who just, you know, people have seen it, but others have not. So it's always good to revisit. And I love seeing the old techniques with new products. So I'm going to use this beautiful image here on the inside. We're going to keep this a monochromatic card. So Pebble Path. I'm going to stamp that up. Now, my Pebble Path is still very, very juicy. So I'm just going to test it out on some scrap paper first to see. Yeah, okay, we're good. There's a lot of fine details in here. You don't want your ink gunking up the works in there. You know, I am tapping very, very lightly. But I have to admit, my 2.5-year-old granddaughter likes to stamp. And she taps the ink pad so lightly. I wish more of my adult class attendees would do that. Some people starting new push hard and bang, bang, bang into it, or push really hard into it. My granddaughter just goes tap, 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 tap. She just has a perfect touch. So I should do a video of her demonstrating that for people. All right, so we're going to put this on the right side because those flowers are sort of coming over to the left there. And that's going to be our pretty inside there. I'll leave that open because we're going to use it on our card. Let me clean this off. And yeah, I have a newer chamois. I have the old one too, but I was doing some classes and I felt a chamois on each end was definitely helpful. So my old one is almost black, but you know what? It still works. I'm not throwing it away. I'm gonna glue this down inside. Who loves the Pebble Path? It's sort of a brownish gray, which I really, really love. I do like it. Unfortunately, it's an in color. It's not going to be around forever. In fact, in May, when the new catalog comes out, this color will stay for 1 more year, but we'll get a whole new set of it colors. So we have 1 more year with the Pebble Path. All right, we're going to put this aside for a minute, and we're going to put the other colored pieces aside. And we're going to put these all stacked in a pile. And I'm going to put just a tiny bit of my liquid glue on the back, just a smear, because that's going to be a temporary hold. Okay, just gonna rub it a little bit so it dries quickly. Once it dries, it becomes tacky and it's temporary. You can peel it off and put it back on again. So that's why it's called a multi-purpose glue. Aside from, yeah, you can use it for a lot of things. That makes sense, right? Okay, so we're just going to layer these with equal border on either side, all sides rather. And okay, so you know that when you, a glue dot, that's going to add a little, you can, but if you do use a glue dot, I would touch it a few times to make it less sticky, because the glue dots eventually will be more permanent, but also the glue dot does have some thickness to it. So you might feel a little lump under there, and we really don't want that because we're going to be stamping on here. All right, so as you know, if you're stamping on here, we have 3 different layers. So your stamping is not going to get right up to the edge here, but that's okay, because eventually, when we're done doing all the stamping, we're going to put the layers underneath, and it's going to hide those little gaps that are in between the layers. So it's okay. I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to take out this bigger stamp here, I could use both of them actually, but I will just we'll just use this one for now. All right, I need my big block. I don't know if this one will fit. No, that one's a little small. Let me turn around and get my bigger one. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pick that up. Now, when you have big stamps like this, it might be hard to be holding them and putting them on your ink pad like this. In fact, using your hand in that grip and holding it tight, is not really good for your hand. Trust me, I ended up hurting my hand when I was holding a really big background stamp and using it too much. I was making wedding invitations. I was going like this with that big stamp all over and shoosh, hurt my hand. I had some tendonitis that lasted a while. So I've learned my lesson. All right, so leave your big stamps down here and take your ink pad, which is much smaller and lighter, and bring that to your stamp. All right, and one thing that's kind of nice, you can see right away that it is covering. All right, I'm going to, excuse me. Okay, I got a little ink on the edge. I don't think I would have gotten that on my card, but I'm not going to take the chance. Then I have to cut all 3 layers again. Well, I do have some extras here, but I want to use them for other projects to show you. All right, so here we go. We're just going to stamp over all of those layers rather. Okay, we're going to go off. We're going to go in different directions. And okay, you can see there is gap there, right? And you're going to think, ooh, that's going to be messy. But don't worry, because our layers are going to hide that. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to add my sentiment. I'm going to use, since there are no sentiments in the detailed dogwood, I'm going to use from Thoughtful Expressions, You're in My Thoughts Today. And there we go. And I'm just going to do that in black so it stands out a little bit more. We could do it in the Pebble Path, but black is pretty neutral. And like I said, it will stand out nicely. All right, let's make sure I don't rock this. I'm going to put a little bit down and to the right. Okay, slightly crooked, but don't tell anybody. We'll try to hide that. Try to mask it a little bit. Okay. Clean up the stamp. Put it away and not lose it. How many times have you lost a stamp underneath something? Terrible. Okay, they stick so well. Sometimes they're under your stamp case. Sometimes they're under ink pads. It's crazy. Try to put them away so that doesn't happen. I'll do that now. There we go. All right, let's continue with stamping our flowers all around. Okay, we're going to go different directions here. Give a sort of a collage look. Okay, I have some of those big flowers. I'll try to get this one in here like this. Okay, not bad. I want a little something over there. There. Okay. So let's close up our ink. Clean off the stamp. Oh, your puppy gets up. Oh, how's the puppy doing, Karen? Great company, though, I bet, right? Oh, yeah, Lois, we did this one a long time ago. Back in New York, I had a stamp camp, and I think I still have the original card. I meant to get that out, but I just didn't have time. But I will try to post that when we're done here. All right, let me put this back. So detailed dogwood stamp. It's a celebrations free offer, and you can get that free with a $100 purchase. Hey, speaking of celebrations, there are 10 new items this month that you can get with your purchases. 10 new items. Now, they're not specifically celebration items. They're not new. They are actually items that are in our current line of products, and you can get them free. All right. There's some stamp sets. There's some designer papers. There are the Dragonfly Punch. You can get free with $100. You can get the new not the new in colors, the new colors, the core colors, new core colors that were added last year to the core colors of the Stampin' Up! Line. You can get a set of those markers. I think there are 11 of them in the set. You can get that for free with a $100 purchase. Some other things are the Just Kidding designer paper. Oh, goodness, I forget the others. But there's a bunch of things there. Check out the website and see if there's anything that catches your eye. All right, so now we're just going to layer these because this was just temporary. I can pull it off. My suggestion when you try to pull something off like this, twist it. And that way you're not like pulling it up and tearing it. Not that it matters too much because you're going to be covering that up. All right, so now we just want to layer your stamped images on the corresponding matte colors. So we'll do that like this. And then we'll put them all together. This is going to be a nice little elegant card. And an excuse that I got to use the dogwood stamp. Okay. So you can really do this with any size paper. If you like a bigger border, just cut the colored cardstock half an inch bigger than the white instead of a 1/4 inch. So if you can change the look of your card. All right, so now watch when we put this layer on, it covers that gap. So it's all good. And then when we put this one on, it covers that gap. And now we have what looks like a continuous images all the way around, right? So it doesn't matter that we had that gap before. So when we put this together, you can just glue them straight down if you like, or you can pop them up with some dimensionals. So maybe I'll just do this one straight down and we'll play with some of the others with dimensionals. Remember, if you wanted to add a ribbon, do that before you glue it down. Okay. Ribbon, or, well, you know what? I do have pebble path there. I'm going to do a little bit of a ribbon this way maybe and hide that gap there. All right, let's see how this looks. Don't you just love how I make things up as I go along? You can too. You'll get those moments of inspiration. I think that will look really nice there. A bow might be a little too much on this because we already have the 3 layers. So I'm going to just try a knot. Left over, right, and under. And then right, left. You get a little square knot there. Okay, so now it's going that way. So I tied it the wrong direction. I'm going to, it's all about that, the direction that you tie and you put under or not. Okay, there we go. This went the other way. Okay, trim my edges. I want to go in the same direction there. Now, I want to move this knot up a little bit. So it's a little hard to do that. So here's my trick. Just slightly bend the cardstock and it will move a little bit. Okay, so I know it's hiding that flower, but I thought maybe to hide some of that white space there might be good. All right, so I'm going to glue that right down. And pretty card. You like that? Oh, Lois, you got the bling. I know. Lois loves the bling. Yeah. Lois wasn't feeling well for a little while there. So now that she's on and asking for bling, I know she's doing better. Yep. Back in the swing of bling. Okay. Lois wants bling. Let's see what we can do. All right. I put a little pin there to hold that closed. Okay, let's try some rhinestones. Okay, keeping it the colors and whatever are busy enough. So simple rhinestones, but a little bit of shine. I do have the in color dots that we could use the Pebble Path on there too, which have a little bit of shine to them. So wonder which one we should do. Any votes? Yeah, this is an easy card. One person I saw online was saying, oh, that was just way too complicated for me. So she did it a different way. And I don't think that was any more easy. So whatever. Okay, so we can put the Pebble Path, or you could put the rhinestones on. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to save the rhinestones for a different card. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that on one of my next cards. I'm going to do the Pebble Path. Now, these come in 3 different sizes, and it comes in all 5 in colors on this little strip. Oh, here's the blue. Okay, so we have the all 5 of the newest in colors there. So let's use one of each size here. And that can hide some of these, well, not hide, but fill up some of that gap too. I like to do 3, as you know. I'll do, think of a triangle, maybe 1, 2, 3. Again, it would fill up some space there. Okay, you could use your point side, or you can use the putty side of your pick tool. To do that, just slide the gem off and it will stay stuck to the putty. You could stick that there. You want to slide it. Okay, there we go. You got a little bling there, Lois. How about that? Really pretty and elegant, isn't it? Okay, and you can send that sentiment anytime to anybody, birthday or get well. I hope you're feeling better, kind of a thing. And I just dropped the lid to that, but it's okay. I'll find it later. Luckily, that won't stick to anything else, or it won't get vacuumed up. So it's all good. All right. Yep, fill the gaps. Yeah, oh, thank you. Glad you guys liked the card. Oh, thank you for sharing, Dawn. I appreciate that. All right, so that's one. And it's really neat with the monochromatic, right? Now, this can also look very nice and classy in just black and white. So I'm going to use the, where is it? Another one that's kind of simple. I know it's flowers. We're going to use the stippled rose, all right, with the black and white, and see how that goes. Oh, look at this. I haven't even taken this one apart. I only used 2 of the stamps so far. How about that? All right, so then you'll get to see my technique for mounting these decals. The instructions in here tell you to do it one way, but my way is easier. So let me show you how we do that. I know I've shown this to you before, But for those of you who haven't seen it, here we go. So quick and easy. I'm going to use this big double rose stamp. Again, I'm getting to use my unused things. All right, either way, the Stampin' Up! Way or my way, you do have to pull this piece off and throw that away. All right, Stampin' Up! Suggests, their way suggests pulling the decal off, the back of the decal off here, pulling both sides off, and then hovering over and placing this on top of the decal, and it will stick to the other side. I found it was hard to get it just right, especially, I would get shadows, from my overhead lights, and I couldn't see exactly where that was. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to take the whole decal off, pull the whole thing off, and you're going to stick it to your block. Okay? Then you're going to have this face down. When you pull this off, we're going to bring the decal to the stamp instead of the stamp to the decal. This way, I can see through my clear block and through the decal itself where my stamp is. And I could just get closer and closer until I line it up just right. Getting closer, making my adjustments, and bam, it's on. Perfect. Okay, that's my way of doing it. If you haven't seen that before, I'm glad you might have learned something new just now. All right, so let's do this really quickly in black and white and see how elegant that's going to look. Okay, very quickly, a little temporary glue just to hold it together as you're stamping. I like to smear it so it dries quicker, then it just becomes tacky. Let's see how it looks like with the stippled roses. And that has DSP that matches with it, of course. The softly stippled DSP is a celebration item, right, in the coral, pool party, and wheat and pebble path. Very pretty paper. All right, let's stamp this up real quick. Again, this is a big stamp. I'm bringing my ink to the stamp. Making sure I cover that up. And even though it's black, this kind of image, the stippled is teeny tiny dots. So it's going to have a lighter look than a really thick stamp that I might have done in black. All right, let's see what sentiment I want on there. I could add a label, but I thought maybe, okay, let's do, well, since sending thanks is already put together, I'll use that one. Always need thank you cards, right? Okay, tell me if you've, oh, Debbie, the stipple paper's unavailable. Thank you. I haven't checked recently. Okay. All right, good, Joan. I hope you do try that. All right, there we go. So this is going to be all black and white. Very elegant. Could be a nice wedding card if you put congratulations on there. Oh, look what I'm doing. I'm doing it the wrong way. Okay, this way you can also see that you have more even coverage over your stamps. I'm going to try this way. All right, here we go. If I try to get, no, I'll go this way. Get that little rose closer to the sentiment. pretty already, right? Okay. And then over here. And a little bit on the other side. And a little smudge right there, but you know what? This is going to cover it. Nobody will know. See? All good. Then we put our layers on. After I clean my stamp. I already have enough ink on my fingers. All right. Love the chamois. I do not miss cleaning the Stampin' Scrub. We still sell the Stampin' Scrub if you like that instead. You misted it and then you would scrub it on one side and dry it on the other side. But I did not like cleaning it. Oh my gosh, it would take forever. I would run it underwater with some dish soap, but it took forever, like cleaning a paintbrush. The chamois, I just rinse it underwater and keep squeezing it a few times until it runs clear like a sponge. So much easier cleaning a sponge than a paintbrush, right? But it all depends which you like to use. All right, now we're just going to layer put our layers on here. Now this one, Lois, is going to get the rhinestones. See why I say I use the pebble path on the other one? This one's going to get the clear rhinestones. Bring that bling on there. So you can do any, like I said, you can do any size of the white here. Just cut your colored mat a little bit bigger. And I'll put this on here first, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Either 1/4 inch bigger to get this 1/8 inch border, or if you want a stronger border, cut a 1/2 inch difference, and you'll have to play around with some of the other sizes too. But here we go. Like I said, you can just stamp this whole thing and then just put another. Oh, what am I doing? Ah, there we go. You can put another label on there, which I'm going to show you another way of doing that in a minute. And like I said, if you wanted to, you can put dimensionals under here and pop them up. All right, and there's another one, nice and elegant. I know it's kind of similar tones, not as colorful, similar tones to the Pebble Path, but I just wanted you to see it in actual just black and white. Let's put our rhinestones on. So quick and easy, right? Has anybody else tried this one? Weigh in. Tell us if you have. Okay, now these rhinestones slightly, are they different? Yeah, slightly different sizes. We have teeny ones, we have middle-sized ones. We used to have more sizes to these. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we've got that shine on there. It might be hard to see in the camera, but it's there. It makes a difference. It really does. Okay, if you wanted to, you could do 5 and get extra blingy. I usually don't do that, but I'm going to try. I'll put another one there and another one up here. Oops, I missed it. Fell off. A little too zealous. All right, we got 5 there just for you, Lois. Okay. But now, of course, you can do them with multiple colors. It doesn't have to be monochromatic, but that is the easiest, right? So we're going to try one real quick with, I thought the watermelons might be kind of cool. Haven't done it yet with this layout, but like I said, I'm brave enough to try it with you guys. See how it goes. I wanted to use the more than one color. Okay, so here we go. Those aside. There's the side. I don't think we'll use rhinestones with the watermelons. Not this time. Why not? Some of my friends would add the rhinestones, anything. And why not, I guess, right? Okay, my sending thanks. Make sure I put that back in there. Oh, this is another thing that I do. I don't know if everybody does this, but I keep this outside piece of the rubber in my stamp case. Some people throw this away and then you just have this. I like to have it here because then I can see if there's a stamp missing more easily, because it doesn't have the images on the back like the photopolymer does. So I like to keep it in there. And also it helps hold it in, because sometimes when these start getting a little grimy, less sticky, if you don't clean it right away, sometimes they might have a hard time sticking to the plastic. But when it's kind of wedged in there, it holds them on very nicely. So I like to keep this outer piece on there. I don't necessarily pull the backing off because it kind of gives me a way to lift up and get in there. All right. I mean, you can take it off, but I figured, let me just leave it as it is. That's okay. All right, let's try some watermelons. So 2 colors. I'm using Melon Mambo and Garden Green. So let's see how that comes out. All right, now you can also put black in between your layers, even if you have a colored card base. That could work. We'll see how we go with that. I don't know. Okay, so Melon Mambo and Garden Green, and the watermelons have the rind and the inner part. So it's a 2-part stamping, and it has a very watercolor distinctive look, they call it, because there's different shading within the stamp itself. So this is what the slice would look like, and you have your seeds on there too. Oh, I have to remember to get some. I used espresso for the seeds. Now, see, now this one is a teeny one that will tend to fall off. I'm going to do the slices first and then add the rinds. That way I can see how my space is filling up. And maybe I'll do, this one isn't the same proportion as those. Call me crazy, but I'm not going to use that one because these are maybe just a smaller slice than the other. That one just, I don't know, looks too small compared to the others to me. I don't know. All right, Melon Mambo. Makes me think of West Side Story. You know, the dance scene in the gym? Mambo. I love it. Romantic Roses. I remember it. Yeah, there have been a few roses stamps that are kind of like that. Some stippled things. And so I guess once they're retired, then I have to bring back new ones. All right, let's see what happens here. Okay, I'm not going to stamp an image this time. I mean, a sentiment. I'm going to add one later. All right, let's try this smaller slice. Try different direction. You can go across 2 layers or 3. Go off the page. You don't have to always have the, ooh, I've gotten a little bit more on the end there. You don't always have to have the full image on it. Okay, see, that's better. Okay, see, I see a little smudge there, so I'm just going to get a little piece of slice there. All right, I'm going to add the rind, and then we'll see where we can fill in with any of the other slices. And then we need to add the seeds. Okay, so this rind fits both slices. Let me just test it here. Good. And because it's photopolymer, it's nice that you can see right through and get it right up in there. Ooh. A little more there. That's good. A little bit here. Even this, the rind has darker on the edge and lighter toward where the actual fruit is. It's kind of like a real watermelon. That's what the distinctive stamps do. They have different shading within one stamp. Okay, watermelons, free with $50 order. Stamping up during celebrations. All right, now let's just fill in a little bit. Be sure to use the right ink pad, Lorraine. Don't hit the wrong one and have a problem here. Okay, let's get a little tip over here. Won't need to hit that rind, that's for sure. I am going to add a little something up here, I think. This way. Some rind there. Some here. And those are just tips. I'm going to leave those alone. All right, it's a lot of watermelon. Who likes watermelon? Some people love it. Some people, whatever. Okay. Oh, first time watching the whole thing. Congratulations, Joan. Thank you. Thanks so much. Well, replays are always there too. So I know some people feel badly they missed the live, and the interaction is fun. It's nice. That's what the live is all about. Otherwise, I could just record this and you could just watch. But it's nice to interact with each other, right? Okay, let me get my early espresso. And we'll do some seeds. Okay, so this stamp set has, one stamp has 3 seeds on it, and there's another one with just 1 seed if you need it to really fill in. So let me try to do this quickly here. Oops. I guess there's one going there. All right, turn the right way. There we go. Now you can also do a similar thing with designer paper. I'm going to show you how that works. And then we're going to have to call it a day. A little gloomy outside today, a little misty, rainy, but we're going to go for a walk anyway. Trying to walk most days. We have some friends that like to join us. Sometimes my husband and I just go on our own. Any other walkers out there watching? Oh, from Italy. Woo! Nice. Yeah, speaking of walking, visit Italy. You can get a lot of walking done. All right, there we go. Look how cute. Makes you want to think of summer. Now, our walk around our neighborhood is about 2.4 miles. So it's a nice amount. It takes us about 40 minutes. All right, so we'll pull that off. Wiggle it so you don't bend your paper. And okay, that one got a little sticky. We'll wiggle the next one. There you go. And we'll start layering that on there. You like the watermelon, Sandy? Oh, nice. I'm not like a huge watermelon fan. Some people are like, whoa, I love watermelon summer and all that. But I do enjoy a piece every once in a while. It has to be really cold though. I like it cold and crunchy. I need to cut my melon mambo. Like I said, this could be black too. Okay, that could look, or go with the espresso in between there. That could look really cool too. All right, but I don't have my black out, and I want to show you one more thing before we go. So I'm going to just cut the melon mambo, and that's going to be, again, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay, that's my next layer there. And then the next one is 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. So it's just 1/4 inch difference from the white. Right, that's going to go on there. So we have a nice bright colored card this time compared to the other more serious cards. Now this one's going to get ribbon. I love the gingham ribbon with the watermelons and the mambo. Looks, that reminds you very kind of farm-like, you might say. Okay, put that on there. Oh, where's my other piece? Oh, here it is. So what time is it in Italy right now? Hey, it must be approaching evening, kind of dinner time maybe? Right? Isn't it like 7 hours ahead, something like that? Right now we have about 5 to 11 in the morning. Okay, you want to make sure you're putting it on the right way. Okay, if it's upside down, it's not going to line up with the images. It could look random, which would be okay. Wouldn't be the end of the world. But if you want that cohesive look, you want to do that. All right, we're going to pop this one up on dimensionals. I said I would do that, and I didn't before. You could pop up both layers. It look really neat. I like to put something in the middle to support that so it doesn't sag. And let me make sure I get my backings in my little glass cup and not my coffee mug. Okay. Oops, upside down. There we go. Okay, that's popped up. Of course, you would put an inside white piece in there, and we're going to put a little gingham bow on there. I have little pieces that I save for moments like this. We're just going to make a little, I call them bunny ears. And then wrap it around. I hope it's not too small for me to tie. Oh, I think I've got it. I think I've got it. All right. Yeah, keep bringing this smaller and then pulling it tight. And there we go. Yay! Look how cute is that? It makes me, like I said, makes me think little farm-like. Little farm girl. I'm going to take my glue dot, stick my bow right on there. And then I'll put a little saying on there later when I figure out what I would send this card, who I would send this card to, and for what occasion. All right, so we have those. Now, very quickly, because I think my walking guests are here, I am going to just show you what you can do with designer paper. You can imagine, but I'll show you a little trick here. Boy, did I make a mess. Well, that's okay. All right, so we have those. And now, obviously, you could use layers of designer paper to do the same layout. And for this, I'm using the Forever Love specialty paper. It's so pretty with gold foil in there. And I just love peacock. So this uses vanilla. So you can just do your layers like this. But I'm going to show you a little trick. Okay, same size layers. This one actually has direction, so be sure to cut it in the direction you want. This could be a vertical card too, of course. And look how pretty that is. But you know what? Doing it that way, you're using way too much designer paper. You could do this with just this piece. Similar concept where we're going to cut down the one and it's going to be covered by this. So I'm going to save these pieces for another day. And we're going to use the deckled rectangles. The deckled isn't going to matter because it's not going to show. But if you have anything that has concentric shapes to it, squares, rectangles, whatever, then you can find some that fit. The stitch rectangles that we used to have work for this too. And then choose, like maybe skip 2 and then do the next size down. So we're going to actually just put this in here like this. Let's see if I can bring this in my view of the camera. So I'm going to cut these 2 at the same time. And I'm going to use a little washi tape to hold it in place. Get them as even as I can. Now this washi tape has been well used. I've touched it many times. I've used it before, so it's not going to be too sticky on my paper because the last thing I want to do is tear this beautiful paper. Just enough to hold those dies in place. And I tend to make them stick more to the die than to the paper. I try not to push it onto the paper quite as much. Let's roll that through. I'm not going to put all this card together, but you'll get the concept. You're going to get the same look just with the designer paper, and you don't have to stamp as if it's a background. All right, so then you would just layer. Oh, by the way, you're going to, when you do this, you're going to start with designer paper. This first piece is going to be 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Okay, so you're going to have a little bit different dimensions on that, right? Because this one is 5 1/4 by 4. So then this is going to layer there. And then your next layer will go there. And see, it hides where you've cut out. So you've just saved yourself a couple of pieces of designer paper, right? And this one, and even that looks nice. You can stamp your sentiment in there if you like. But you want another layer, cover it up, and put that one on there like that. And you've, again, got a very elegant looking card. Okay, just with all those layers. And then what I did was I stamped with my double oval punch. I stamped the scallop oval in gold foil, stamped thank you with pretty peacock, punch that out with a smaller oval, and then we can put that right on there like that. So like I said, it doesn't have to, these don't even have to all be regular shapes. You can arrange your whites in different directions. You can cut them, cut different sizes. Maybe this would be like this, and maybe this might be a little smaller. You can temporarily glue them down in different orientations, stamp them, and then just cut your mat 1/4 inch bigger than what your white paper is. So I'll play around with some of those designs, and I'll post those in my right here on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, come back to Facebook to see those designs, and hopefully you can try some of these on your own. But I just love this paper with the vanilla. Looks really nice. and you've only used one sheet of 4 3/4 by 3 1/2, right? And ta-da! There we go. Very elegant, right? So here are the others. I'll bring those back for a quick look. And I thank you all for joining in, whether you're watching the live or the replay. And there we go. We have those different looks right there. So I appreciate that. If you do some, post them underneath my post that shows these cards, which will be my next post up there. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you next week. All right, next Friday at 10 a.m. All right, have a great day, and thanks for joining in.